AskReddit by Independent 160. What common product has a feature you're not sure everyone is aware of? Lifetime warranties on consumer goods. Like Columbia jackets and JanSport backpacks. If your zipper fails or the material separates or is no longer repelling water, file a claim online and pay for shipping to the factories. They will either repair it or ship you a comparable new version. Companies like this use your returns to identify weak points in their products while retaining lifetime customers. Osprey Backpacks has a lifetime warranty also. My son lost his in a house fire, almost completely ruined. We called and they sent us a link and said, pick any one off this list, and they mailed it for free. It's the only brand we buy for any bags or backpacks. The little pepper looking thing that hangs off of most pin cushions is filled with emery powder to help clean sharpen your pins and needles. Wow, that unlocked a childhood mystery. Swiss Army knife, parcel hook. Most people don't know what it's for, but it lets you use the knife as a handle for carrying unwieldy crap. Oddly, by the time I knew what the thing was for, I never had anything to carry. I mean, it's really good for twine tied things. Also, just learned the official name, parcel hook. Thanks. Netflix has a fitness or exercise genre where you can watch and work out alongside videos. Holy shit. Why don't they advertise that? Apple Camera comes pre-installed with a feature that translates those laundry symbols. It will identify species of birds and some other animals in photos too. E-readers and TTSs on everyone's phone. I'm blind and you'll have no clue how many times a day people ask me, how are you reading and talking online? Please tell me you want a braille phone. Barella Pasta has a Spotify list. Each specific song has a duration to match the relevant pasta's cook time. This amuses the hell out of me for some reason. They should really advertise this. Thank you kindly for sharing. I recently found out that if I press and hold my car key to unlock the car, all the windows open automatically. Not so impressive, but some people might try it out, lol. This also works with holding the lock button to close all windows, sunroof on some cars. The disposable Stanley knives with blades that snap off to refresh the edge have a thing that comes off at the bottom that you can snap said blade with. You don't have to use your fingers and risk cutting yourself. My dad used to run a hardware store when I was growing up. It blew his mind when he saw me do this recently. Fun times. Toasters have crumb trays in the bottom that you can and should remove and clean. Now let's talk about your clothes dryer vent hose. So one that kinda blows my mind and I use all the time now. But you can program your phone to send texts at later times depending on the software. You hold the send button and see if any prompts come up. It's insanely handy for calling out sick on a job, if your boss is anyway, or checking in with somebody when you think of them but know right now is a bad time to text, etc. According to Dateline, it can be used to concoct an alibi to commit crimes. Schedule some texts, leave phone at home, go commit crime. They got caught anyway, but it took a while. If your blinker is faster, it means you have a bulb out. Or the wire to said blinker is loose, broken. Went through a couple of bulbs before I figured out it was a loose connection I was correcting when replacing the bulb, only to have it come loose again 3 months later. That most new phones, at least Samsung, has a panic button function that will work even if your phone is dead. This depends on the phone. You can put in your distress contacts and when activated, they will receive a text, call and a live map to your location. My mom has accidentally set this off 4 or 5 times. Closed an important tab accidentally? Press Ctrl plus Shift plus T to bring it right back. Also, if you closed a whole window, press Ctrl plus Shift plus N to bring it right back. In Firefox. On a Windows computer, WinKey plus tab brings up a virtual desktop switcher. At the top of the screen, hit the plus icon to make a second desktop. You can then use Control plus WinKey plus LR arrow to switch back and forth quickly. I keep all my browsers on one desktop, and Spotify, AskReddit on the other, and swap back and forth all day at work. Another great Windows command is Windows key plus V, lets you access a clipboard history to paste things you copied multiple copies prior. So useful. Least and best used feature in a microwave is actually low power and defrost. https://www.youtube.com/watch?DJRDXRZ3 settings. Don't forget that most have a feature that's called sensor cook, and it works really well. Food comes out cooked just right and not rubbery. The reheat program works great for leftovers as well. A lot of people think that Febreze just covers up odors with perfume. It's actually an excellent odor remover, and there's an unscented version that works extremely well and leaves no smell behind. It's just that when they first brought it to market, a lot of people didn't like it because they associate smelling clean with perfumed products. They found that adding a perfume to it increased their sales. It's hard to find in stores, but you can still order the unscented version on Amazon. I read that in a book about keeping habits, can't remember the name. Super interesting story. Ike, the guy, found out it worked because his wife thought he quit smoking because the Febreze erased the scent. A regular pair of binoculars pointed at Jupiter will reveal 4 of Jupiter's moons: Io, Europa, Ganymede and Callisto. I tried this at night and couldn't see shit except Jupiter was just brighter and appeared bigger. The nub on the edge of a tape dispenser, the red one for moving boxes, is meant to find the edge of the tape. Press it down and move the tape around and it'll peel it up. Edit, copying a video, tagged below, https://www.tiktok.com/video/7178542688919145771 lang closed bracket to answer questions. Edit 2, here to blow your mind again. There's a regular cap under all OTC child safety caps. Put a butter knife in there and pry off the cap. Example, https://www.tiktok.com/t/zt8bpc469/ close Okay, this might actually change my life. The Amazon bags are reusable. Turn them inside out, and turn the piece of plastic off to reveal the tape to reseal. Very useful for making returns. I don't know whether it's because I'm in the UK or because of my order history, but I've never seen an Amazon bag. Everything comes in cardboard. With Google Maps on your phone, when traveling to someone, you can let them know exactly where you are so they can track your progress. Open Maps, tap your account icon at the top right, tap location sharing, and you have the option to share your location for a set amount of time, like an hour. You can then tap to send this location sharing directly to a person or to send it through a text message. The other person can now know where you are along your journey. This way they can better prepare for your arrival. You can also do that by clicking on your blue dot on the map that represents your location. The same menu appears. Mastercard and Visa both offer cell phone insurance on some of their credit cards if you pay your phone bill with their card. This can cover theft and damage to your cell phone. Edit, about time I add this to the main. Check your credit card benefits guide for details to see if it's applicable. And yes, it might be a pain in the ass, but it's still there for some CCs. Nearly all staplers can make 2 kinds of staples, regular and temporary. You can spin the strike plate around by pushing it up from underneath and the resulting staples will go out instead of in, making them easier to remove. I thought this was common knowledge, but my wife of 14 years was amazed when I showed our daughter how that worked. I've always known this, but never in my life have I needed to temporarily staple something. If anyone has ever done this, they should do an AMA. Even though it's only been a couple decades, I feel like people forget that you can just buy an HD antenna and watch local channels instead of needing cable satellite. As someone who works at a locally owned TV station, it blows people's minds when we tell them they can still get our channel for free over the air. Sure, we're on cable too, but if they buy an HD antenna from the dollar store, they can pick us up pretty easily. They are also shocked when we tell them we carry shows like The Office. Cozy TV is one of our affiliates. We also have 5 sub-channels with other networks, all free over the air. Your oven door comes off for cleaning. So many people aren't aware. It's super easy, just a couple of hinges, pop it off, clean the door and oven, and pop it back on. Bish bash bosh. My husband and I are sitting here trying all these things, and it just resulted in him running off to try to pull our oven door off.